One of the challenges with tomato plants at the end of the season is that they have created so much foliage that tends to attract tomato blight and other fungal infections. These plants actually collapse right after the storm, and now I am going to go in and trim a lot of those leaves to create really good airflow to make sure that the tomatoes have a chance to ripen. And you want to think about being able to see through your tomato plant. So picture yourself as a kind of a wave of air circulating through the plant and making sure that there is nothing really blocking it, so it can help your plants dry out quickly after watering, after rain, so you don't get that heavy concentration of humidity. And it's also harder for the fungi to travel from leaf to leaf because essentially there is not a lot of leaf to leaf contact. So it's going to help your plants thrive, it's going to make your garden look nicer, and above all, it's really going to improve the health of your garden. Another driver of tomato blight is overwatering your plants. We're in summer and we are getting heat wave after heat wave, and our tendency is to want to rush and water our plants. However, watering your plants in the middle of a heat wave can be counterproductive because you end up with a lot of wetness and a lot of heat. So hot and wet is a combination that will hurt your plants. What you want to aim for is to have the moisture where you need it, which is at the root level. And in order for you to keep a nice consistent level of moisture at a good temperature is by mulching. When you mulch the soil, you're stabilizing the temperature of the soil and you're also retaining moisture at the root level, which is where you really need it. The time of the day when you water is also important because oftentimes we water our gardens at the end of the day. We come back from work, we're tired, we want to de-stress, we turn on the hose and start watering the plants because it's very rewarding. But however, what that means is that your plants are going to stay wet throughout the night, so that can also influence the spread of fungi. Another benefit of mulch is that when you water the garden or when there is rain, the water is not directly hitting the soil. Blight spores tend to live in soil, so when the water hits the soil, water droplets bounce off the surface of the bare soil. They grab the spores and they essentially attach them to the bottom of your tomato leaves. And that's when the blight starts to spread. So when you have a nice thick layer of mulch on top of your soil, you don't have that effect of water splashing and distributing spores throughout your garden, especially right at the base of your tomato plants. In addition to that, as the mulch breaks down season over season, you have a slow nutrient release system, especially if you're using dry leaves. That is the best way to remineralize your soil because every year you just have layers and layers of mulch, layers and layers of carbon material that is being broken down, and you're replenishing your soil, you're replenishing a lot of those nutrients and trace minerals, you're putting them back into the soil.